All right, good morning, people. So I am going to start or try to do a reading vlog while I read the fantasy novel called The Daughters of Nari. Someone very kindly reminded me that I should probably try to read a little bit more out of my comfort zone this month. So even though it's murder mystery March Madness, yeah, and don't be alarmed. Yes, my hair has tints of red, aka slightly purple. I did it myself, so the front is a frontal, and then the back, yeah, it's me. But the frontal, I dyed a little too much in some areas. I like it though. My husband doesn't like. He doesn't like. He just likes my hair black or sometimes blonde. He doesn't really care for the blonde that much either, but I love it. So yeah, and the only reason I'm made up this much this early in the morning is because I have a parent-teacher conference, a video parent-teacher conference. So that's the only reason. I'm sorry, not a teacher, but what is she? What is her title? Not what is she? She's a person. BCBA, behavior counsel, something like that. She helps with my daughter's educational plans, development plans, and things like that. So I have a meeting with her today. But yeah, I'm going to try to, this week is going to try, I'm starting today, it's Friday the 12th. I'm going to try to do a reading vlog while I'm reading The Daughters of Nari. So until next time.
Times released into the air and watched as two shadows materialized before merging into what appeared to be a woman seated cross-legged on the ground.
All right, so I am in my living room and I am going to start my weekend cleaning early because I didn't clean last weekend. And because of that, I have more to clean. Instead of just having to deep clean one room, I have to deep clean technically 4. But I'm going to do 2 tonight, which luckily, because I keep them deep cleaned, I clean them quite often. It should only take me about 15 to 20 minutes each room. This hair is just not acting right now. Anyway, so I started reading the book, and I always say this. To me, reading fantasy, especially fantasy that I know nothing about, it feels like watching a foreign film with subtitles. I can't do other things organically because I'm trying to focus on like the history of the world building that the world I'm being immersed in. And I'm also trying to like not forget things, and you're trying to like keep everything together. So yeah, I just have a hard time with fantasy. I just do. So it's interesting that I'm trying to read this fantasy right now. I'm excited to read it because I do want to get into more fantasy. With that being said, Song of Blood and Stone by L. Penelope, I did not have this issue. I actually really enjoyed that book a lot. Yeah, so with all that said, so I'm going to clean this room. It's not really dirty. I'm going to show it to you. You can judge me if you want to, but it's not that bad. I promise you it's not that bad. I need to sweep and mop the floors. And then I have my laundry baskets out because there's a pile of laundry behind me that I'm not going to show you because, yeah. But deep cleaning this room is not that hard. It's just dusting the family bookshelves. As you see, my daughter's taking all the books off of all of the bookshelves. So it's basically putting the books back, dusting the bookshelves, and then dusting the television, which we never use, and then dusting this little thing. I think it's called a console. We use it as a TV stand, which is not purpose. And then, of course, dusting and everything over here, the banister, wiping it down, and then we have the wonderful windows. You got to dust and clean all the windows. So while doing all that, I'm going to listen to that tonight, and then I have the family room to do, and I think I think that's it. And then tomorrow is the deep, heavy cleaning, which is the kitchen. The kitchen usually takes me 45 minutes to an hour to clean, deep clean. I clean it every day, but deep cleaning is clean out the fridge, run the dishwasher, getting the dishes out of that, and then run a self-cleaning, clean the oven, clean everything, dust and clean everything, clean the pantry, take inventory of the pantry, take inventory of the kitchen, of the spice rack, take inventory of the fridge. So about 45 minutes to an hour to do all of that once a month. So while I'm doing all that, tomorrow I will also be listening to the book. I also need to place a grocery order for Sunday. There's quite a bit to do. You can't really see me, so let me take it down some. I'm also quite short. So that's everything, what I'm doing. I really don't like I've tried to do reading vlogs before, but I just am not good at it. Oh, let me show you one of my favorite nonfiction. No, I'm gonna show you one of my favorite fiction books, and then I will show you one of my favorite nonfiction books. Look at this. Look at this beauty. It is The Greats, and it is basically short stories and some long stories by like W.E.B. Du Bois. It's just huge. I read this in college, and then when I saw it at this used bookstore, I had to have it. I love it. Of course, you cannot go wrong with this. Give Us Free, one of my favorite books. I felt like the movie was not as good as the book. All right, so the little one is down. I have propped you up between some books. I was gonna use my tripod, but unfortunately it was on its last leg and I broke it. So I'm going to mop and listen to Daughters of Nari on my iPad. Yeah, so let's get done. Now my pads for a mop. I've already swept, picked up all the toys, dusted everything, and I just need to get going with mopping the floor. Really, it's not. I don't consider myself doing a deep cleaning with these things. I just pick up the germs. I use one to kind of pick up the germs, and the other one to kind of dry because it can get a little bit wet. Here's my trusty dandy mop. We don't want to really use a traditional mop on these floors. I don't really want to traditionally mop these floors because they are hardwood. So fun Friday night. I don't know about you. Need to cool it with all this fun I'm having. All right, let me get to my book and I'll talk to you soon. So it is day 2 of this reading vlog. It's probably going to be just 3 days. I am moving quite quickly through this book. I think I have like 2.5, I think at the most 3 hours left to read or listen to, I should say. So yeah, I could cover that tonight if I wanted to. I could have that done. But I kind of want to continue to edit this as I go so that at the end, I don't have to edit a lot in one big sitting, and I can also have a video ready for not next week, because next week's video is filmed and edited and ready to post. So the following week I will have this video ready. And plus I'm scheduling out next week's Instagram content. So I'm trying to be more consistent with posting on Instagram. I know that was a big goal for me in 2020, which I failed at miserably. And so I'm trying to definitely do better in 2021. So I'm trying to have content at least 5 days a week. 7 days a week I feel is a stretch for me just because of all of my personal commitments and just I don't have an exciting life, and I don't have a bunch of stuff to stage books and stuff like that. So this top is cut low, and this sweater is not letting me be great. So I'm not trying to show you my décolletage. It's just presenting itself to you. But yeah, so far in the book, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like either of these characters. I don't like petulant children, and that's one's coming off that way to me, and then the other one is coming off whiny and weak. So I don't really like either one of them. Usually if you don't like any of the main characters, you have a side character or a secondary character that you like. I don't. So I can't say I'm really enjoying this book. To be fair, it's not my favorite genre to read into, honestly, for several reasons. But the biggest reason is because I always feel like with fantasy, especially fantasy that you're not familiar with at all, you're starting off in, you have so much to learn. And usually I notice what I like is when an author takes one of the main characters and makes them as ignorant to the world as you are. So both you and that character are getting a history lesson on why the world it is the way it is, and so on and so forth. It was done that way in Harry Potter. It was kind of done that way, very loosely done that way, and Game of Thrones. But usually I tend to prefer that approach on introducing you to a new world that is not familiar to you at all. And again, I still stick by my saying that reading fantasy, sci-fi, any of that it feels like watching a foreign film with subtitles on. I will continue to say that, because when you're watching a foreign film with subtitles on, for me, actually, which is weird. The fact that I say that is really, really weird, because I actually love foreign films. I put subtitles on everything because I'm old and I have a 2-year-old who's quite loud. So if you're trying to watch anything with her, you need to have the subtitles on. Also, fun fact, subtitles actually help children learn how to read faster, and we're 100% positive that's why at the age of 4 she can read very well. It's because I always have subtitles on, and she always has subtitles on her videos. But anyway, I said all that to say that I'm not really falling in love with this book. I probably won't read the second book or go on with the series. I'm not really here for it. I'm not gonna lie, it's giving me lightweight Children of Blood and Stone or something like that. I believe that's the name of the title. I'll put it here. But yeah, it's giving me lightweight that. So I don't know. Yeah, I think the next time I come back, because I don't think I'm going to do another one of these, because of the fact that by the time I come back, I will be done with this book. I probably won't film anything until tomorrow afternoon. And that's when I'll be curling this hair, because these curls are looking a little tired. But yeah, so that's where I am. I wish I could tell you that I'm intrigued by it, that I'm so blown away by it. I'm not a fantasy person. I'm just not. I wish I was. Again, the only fantasy book I can think of in recent years outside of Harry Potter that I connected with the most was the Song of Blood and Stone, I believe, or Song of Blood. I think it's Song of Blood and I think it's called Song of Blood and Stone, and it's by L. Penelope. And it was the only one that I've connected with where I was intrigued. I wanted to know what was going on. I listened contently, and I didn't mind being you have to have laser focus on the book. And what I mean by like, it's like watching a foreign film where you have to put subtitles on. When I listen to fantasy, I can't, normally when I listen to a book, I can browse, I can do other things like, and I'm going to be honest with you, all of how I feel about this book could be on the fact that I really don't want to read fantasy right now. But again, it is wise for me not to stay in my comfort zone so much that I'm not opening myself up to new books. And with that being said, I will be probably reading one fantasy book at least once a month or every 2 months. Sci-fi is still something I'm not going to be reaching for on the regular. I just can't do it. I don't care. I just don't care about sci-fi books. I don't. But yeah, so that's where I am. Yeah. I wish I had I really do wish I felt better about this book. And it also could be on top of the fact that I'm tired. It's been a long week. I'm drained. Maybe I would have a better outlook on this book if I wasn't in these circumstances of being tired and all that kind of stuff. But this book. But to be fair, I've read books when I've been in this place before after a long, hard week. And they've actually turned it around for me. And I've been like, oh, okay. And they weren't romance. I think the one that turned it around for me last time when I was reading out of my comfort zone was The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Yes, that book is not my traditional read, but I actually liked it. I know a lot of people felt like it was too convoluted and there was too much. I felt like the only thing I didn't like was, if I said it, I'm going to give it away. There's a component about it that I don't like. I felt like, wow. Okay. Other than that, again, so. All right. So this is the end of the reading blog. And I have to say, towards the end, the book started picking up, and I'm still not a big fan of the main two characters in this book. They still rub me wrong. But I have to say, I was surprising that I surprised myself because I did get interested in the book towards the end. However, without giving anything away, because I am going to do a full review on this book, and I'm going to talk about the character trope, the world building trope, and then also the plot trope, and kind of go into it a little more with this hair, with some a few spoilers, but not many. Anyway, so I finished the book. I say 3 stars even. I was going to say 3.5 stars, but the conclusion of this book felt weak. It felt random. It wasn't random. It felt weak. Like, the conclusion felt weak. And the fact that there's a second book was weird. Okay. It felt weird because there was no real cliffhanger, if you will. The end of this book could have been it. The end of this book, the end of the story. But you would have felt a little let down that you don't know everything that should happen or is going to happen with the conclusion of this book. However, this is book 1. I don't know how many books are going to be in the series. I know there's another book that's due out, I believe, this year. However, I don't foresee myself reading it. Yeah, I really wanted to like this book. I bought this book off the strength of I want to read more fantasy and I want to support Black authors. However, I did not enjoy this book. as much as I thought it was. Again, towards the end, I was in a much better headspace about the book at the end, towards the end, than in the middle and in the beginning. Again, I openly admit that my tiredness and the fact that it has been a long week and just a lot of things going on in my personal life, and not bad things, just like my kid, we're trying to fully potty train her. And with autism, every child is different. So some of my friends who have kids on the spectrum, their kids done, like 2.5 done. Some, I know one of my friends, her son is 6 and they're where we are, and my daughter's 4. So that on top of like a lot of work, and then just plotting out all the stuff we need to finish in this house, all of that could have played into my annoyance with the characters. The book was written very pretty. I loved the imagery that it sparked in my head when it talked about like the tribal, the hierarchy of the tribes, the mother versus the gods versus there's another layer between the gods and humans, and I'm not gonna say the word right, so I'm gonna say AKA demigods. And then they talked about these really beautiful human-like birds. It was really sweet. It talked a lot about. I love the imagery that it gave me. However, I just did not enjoy the characters, the 2 main characters. I did like the arc of the one side character. I liked her arc a lot. I loved how she started off here and then she kind of, I love that. Some of the stuff I didn't believe, but I'll talk more about that in the review of the book. But overall, again, it's an even 3 stars for me. And if you like fantasy and if you've read any fantasy, if you like fantasy, I say give it a read. Maybe you have some insight on the book that I didn't have, and maybe you can challenge my point of view on the book, and I would be open to that. I would love to talk to anyone about this book. Please read it. Let's talk. Help a sister be more open-minded to it. Possibly give it a reread. I wouldn't mind doing that. I wouldn't mind giving it a reread, honestly. I'm sorry if I'm not staring at the camera. I am so tired. And I need to go to bed because we lost an hour this week. But I'll get my full review of the book at a later date, probably sometime this week. Hopefully I'll have my tripod, so I'll be in my actual seat, my normal seat that I'm usually in. Oh, you're seeing the other end of it over there. But until then, this is my setup. Otherwise, I'm going to go. I am so tired. I'm going to take a shower. I was going to write my full review in my little journal for it. I guess I'll do that tomorrow. And okay then. So this is the end of the vlog. I did feel like there's a lot of stuff in the middle that I'm probably going to take out in this vlog. I don't think you guys care about that stuff. Otherwise, thank you for watching. And until next time, you know what your girl's going to say. Bye.